Hey YouTube, what's up? Blue Witch here. I realized that I'm probably going to be reaching an audience that I don't usually have with this video. The reason for this video is I wanted to talk to people about living in a haunted house, dealing with spirits, things that you can do to get rid of them if they're, bothering you in your home, this type of thing. I will tell you, who I am and why I feel like I can do this video. I live in a very haunted home. Of course, I'm a witch, and so I know how to handle it. I'm also a medium. I have, many different weird abilities. And they come and go, and so yeah, so I have to deal with spirits all the time. I work with spirits in my practice, and so I live, my house is very haunted. I will tell you some of my experiences that I had before I knew I was a witch and how to deal with them. I had spirits that would, kick my bedroom door open and scare me. I had them hold me down in my bed. I've been scratched, touched inappropriately, just all kinds of things. Seen them, shadow people walking around my house, sleep paralysis, all of night terrors, bad dreams. All of these things are signs that your house is haunted, or seeing, things walk down your hall or past you, or feeling like people are watching you when you're in the bathroom. I've had all of these experiences. I'm used to it now. I work with them now. I have rules. I know how to handle them now. And so I guess I'm doing this video because I feel like there's not a lot of information out there to help people know how to handle or how to work with them or how to banish them, or, all of these different things. Depending on what type of beings that you're working with, you're dealing with, if it's just spirits, or or if it's demons, or if it's, bad spirits, nice spirits, ancestors, guides. Everyone has spirits with them. We all have guides. We all have ancestors who are with us on and off, throughout our life. And that's completely normal, and you don't want to get rid of them because those are good and they're going to help guide you and keep you safe and things like that. But sometimes the things that they're dealing with are too powerful for them and they can't help you. And so in situations like that is when you really need to know what to do. What do you do? Well, it took me a long time to learn, and I think that people need to take the time and do your research and try to figure out what you're dealing with. You can sage, saging your house is good. I do that all the time just to kind of cleanse some of the residual stuff out, just to kind of like, the buildup, the extra energy that's just kind of lingering around. The sage really helps get rid of that. I do protective boundaries around my house, but then I'm a witch, and so I'm always working with different, beings. And so I have like a whole potion that I use. There are cleansing baths that you could do if you get like an attachment, if you feel like there's one that's attached to you and sucking the life out of you, and you're drained all the time and that type of thing, then you're going to want to take a cleansing bath and get it off of you. And you might have to do it like once a week for a couple of months or something. Just depends on what you're dealing with. But you could do that. I have I have a video on my personal cleansing bath. I have to do it because sometimes I get little attachments on me, especially when I'm working with so many different clients. This type of thing, I get attachments on me, and so I have to get those off of me or they drain me. But that's a whole nother story. So then also there are rituals that witches do to clear the room, you know, to banish them. They don't like it when you do that. And so if sometimes they'll do shit around my house and I'll be like, you better stop it or I'm going to banish you. And then it'll quit like that. So, you know, if they're giving you night terrors and things like that, then you're probably having some type of ability that you need to practice meditating and grounding yourself. And they're probably just telling you what happened to them when they died or something like that. And now they're wanting you to cross them over. And so sometimes people can do that in their sleep and they don't even really know that they're doing it. I taught myself how to do that when I was awake so that I could sleep peacefully and not have them putting death in my mind while I was sleeping. And everybody told me not to do that. You can't do that. It's not right. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it worked and I'm glad that I did it, and I don't follow rules well. So I did it, and so I like to do that instead of crossing them in my sleep. You know, if they're mean spirits and they're scratching you or they're hitting you, holding you down in your bed, this type of things, those are bad guys, and I would banish them. If they do that shit to me, I will banish them. And if you can't banish them, then you need to find a witch who can come and perform a banishing ritual and get rid of them for you. You can learn how to do a banishing ritual on your own, but you have to be really careful about doing that. So make sure that you do good research on it first. It's very serious, and it's also only temporary. So I do a special thing when I banish, like my daughter's room. When I banish in my daughter's room, I seal it. I put stuff around her walls and her windows and everything, and I seal it. And so they can't get back in there. And then I only have to do it like once a year. But I still have to do maintenance. I seal my property. Like once a year, I'll do that. Usually around this time of the year in the fall is when I like to do it. And I'll make like a big giant cauldron, and I'll put different kinds of salts. And I have like my own formula. It's also, I have a video on that too somewhere. I know I have a lot of videos, and I don't expect you to like follow my recipe or anything like that. Whatever works for you. Salt is really good to put around your property. Mix it with some blessed red brick. And when I say bless it, I mean like, I don't believe in Christianity or anything like that. Obviously, I'm a witch. And so I bless it with my own energy. And I tell it, what I want it to do. So when I say bless it, that's what I mean. Like, I call upon my guides, and, whoever you believe in is who you'll call on to, like, to bless, whatever you make to put around your property. But make sure I have a video also to tell you how to do it correctly. Because first you want to cleanse out your house, then you want to do your property. if you do your property and not your house first, then you're going to trap them in there. So be careful if you do that. But there are many different things you can do to clean them out of your house, and to hold them at bay for as long as possible. I mean, you're still going to have to do maintenance, or, you know, like at least once a year once you've learned how to do this sealing thing. But it still, you know, will help keep things back. Some things are going to be like, ha ha ha, you know, and they're going to be there anyways, because they're probably, you know, been around for a lot longer than man. We'll just say that. And so those types of beings you'll have to handle in a different way. And I would definitely suggest having a witch come and help you with those type of hauntings, because you're going to need help, because you can't do that. Like, if you're not a witch and you don't, you know, have backing or covering of some sort. But yeah, let's see, what else? Did I miss anything? So I got the baths, the saging, the, oh, and I made this really good cleansing, sage that I use. I use sage, and I cut it up in a bowl, you know, and then I also put sweetgrass and lavender and some dragon's blood and a couple of things like that, you know, and then I mix it all together, and then I get a charcoal and put it in, you know, my blessing bowl, and then I go around with my feather, you know, and just let it smoke and just cleanse out my house. Oh, there's floor sweeps you can do. Floor sweeps are really good for residual energy. If you have residual energy in your house, floor sweeps are really good. They're making noise, they're moving around, and I'm in my temple, and so they're like, hey. And so, but anyways, I love my spirits. I work with spirits and beings, and they're, you know, my friends and family. And so I'll just say that right off the get. When I do any type of cleansing or things like that, always do it with respect. I know that people will say, do it with authority and da-da-da. Do it with respect and you'll get a lot further. If you go in there like you know, a mean person, then you could cause, you know, a lot of problems for yourself. But if you come at them with respect, you know, and you're just like, listen, you know, this has got to stop. You've got to go, move on. You know, you can't torment my family anymore. You know, it's time to go. You know, I understand that you went through a hard time when you were here and in this realm, and, you know, I'm sorry that happened to you. You know, whatever your situation is, you know, tell them, acknowledge them. Always acknowledge them. If you don't acknowledge them, it could get worse, and they'll start, you know, really acting out. If you like, and ignore them when they just spent all day, you know, building up energy to be able to do that, and then you just freaking ignored it like nothing, they're going to get really frustrated with you. And so it's good I always acknowledge them and go, wow, you just, you know, knocked the chair over. That's impressive. Now stop, you know, and then I pick it up and go on. Or something like that, you know, acknowledge it, but then don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Don't let them know that you're afraid. Like, don't let them see you be in fear. Even if I don't really have any fear, I used to be afraid all the time, and then You know, I learned everything that I needed to know to protect myself and so on, and, you know, found out who I was and handled my business. But if they do something and you're like, holy fucking shit, you know, or whatever, excuse my language, but it's in the back of your head and it's scary, it's intimidating to you, just put that away. Get rid of it and just keep moving. They can do stuff to you. They can hold you down in bed. I've been held down. I've been hit in the mouth and given a fat lip. I've been beaten up in my sleep, where I was dreaming that I was being beaten up by this person, and I'm not going to say who it was because I work with her all the time now, and you know, we just had some things we had to get worked out, I suppose, but you know, anyways, so you know, it happens, but you can banish them. Those guys you need to banish. And if you don't have the confidence or the willingness to teach yourself how to do that, then you need to call a witch to do it for you. Excuse me, or a spiritualist. Reiki people can move energies off of you as well if you get attachments. I recommend the baths, but that's just because most Reiki people don't like me and won't touch me with a 10-foot pole. But the baths work really well. So anyways, I'm going to get off of here, and I hope that this video helps you, and I wish you all the best. And please feel free to add additional comments, thoughts, or suggestions in the comment box below. And thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Peace out.